Hey guys, this is Alan with the Grilling Network. Welcome. Today we're outside and we're going to be cooking on our Big Joe from KamadoJoe. Tonight on the menu is Not Your Mama's Meatloaf. So let's go ahead and fire this bad boy up and let's get cooking. All right, as you can see here, I've got the KamadoJoe topped off with lump charcoal. We're going to go ahead and use the blowtorch to light this guy up. The idea is you want to hit this in several spots for about 5 to 10 seconds. That will help accelerate the lighting of the charcoal. So let's go ahead and let this come up to temp for about 10 minutes. I've got the top daisy wheel fully open, the bottom vent fully open. So again, in 10 minutes, we'll check back. It's been 15 minutes. I went ahead and placed a couple chunks of applewood. I've installed the X-rack in the elevated position. We'll go ahead and set the heat deflectors on. We are shooting for 400 degrees Fahrenheit, around 350. We'll start making our fine tuning adjustments to close dampers and the daisy wheel. As for the ingredients, we're going to use 1 pound pork, 1 pound steak. You can use any kind of steak that you want. I'm using a New York strip. And as I mentioned before, this is not your mama's meatloaf. We're using 1/2 pound of lamb. I'm gonna go ahead and cube this up in 1/2 inch cubes. We're gonna toss this in the freezer for about a half an hour so it firms up, and then we're gonna toss it into the grinder. We've got the grinder set up. The meat has been in the freezer for about 20 minutes. We're gonna go ahead and start grinding it. The internal components I placed in the freezer overnight, so during the grinding process, nothing heats up and it gets you a good grind. So I'm gonna alternate beef, lamb, and pork. I've got a bowl with ice in it so that the meat stays nice and cold during the grinding process. We're gonna go ahead and finish this up. Once we're done, we'll toss the meat back in the fridge and get to the dry ingredients. Let's go ahead and put all this madness together. Here we have the ground up meat. I'm gonna place it into a ice bowl, and I'm gonna go ahead and add the ingredients. I'll go ahead and list the measurements below in the description. So let's go ahead and add parsley. This is Italian parsley. I buy my spices from Penzies. I'll list their link below. When I went there for the first time, I was amazed by the freshness of their spices and was blown away. So when I make my rubs and whatnot, I try to use them as much as possible. I'm gonna use oregano. We're gonna use sage. We're gonna use garlic. This is garlic powder. They have a phenomenal garlic, minced garlic. This is toasted onion. We got black pepper, freshly cracked, and kosher salt. This is Italian breadcrumbs. You can use bread if you want. This is going to allow it to bind together. We've got 2 to 3 eggs, depending on how big they are. You want 2 large eggs, or here I got 3 small eggs. And then 3/4 cups of milk. All right, time to get your hands dirty. Let's go ahead and mix this up. You want to loosely mix it up, not to make it too packed or too tight. We'll go and finish this up off camera. All right, let's go ahead and place the mixture into these loaf pans. The wife would kill me if I used, the meatloaf pans that we have inside my smoker. So I went ahead and plated one up. I'm gonna go ahead and plate the second one. So just loosely pack it in there, and then make sure that it, is evenly distributed. As I mentioned earlier, we preheated our KamadoJoe to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. We're gonna cook our meatloafs for about 45 minutes. We'll check in at about half an hour just to see how they're doing. We're gonna go ahead and do a glaze while we're waiting. So let's go ahead and put these bad boys on. Again, burp your grill for about 5 seconds. That allows the pressure to equalize. There we go. I'm just going to set these meatloafs right on top of the heat deflectors. While the meatloaf is in the KamadoJoe, we're gonna go ahead and mix up the glaze. A lot of people use ketchup, but this is not your mama's meatloaf, and we're gonna go ahead and mix things up. So we're gonna use some ketchup. I'll go ahead and put the amounts in the description below. Okay, I'm gonna use brown sugar. We're going to use yellow mustard. Again, these spices are from Penzeys. Garlic, you gotta love garlic, and toasted onion. All right, we're going to go ahead and give this a good mix. We've been cooking for 40 minutes. Let's go ahead and give this a check. Make sure you burp it. There we go. That smells phenomenal, guys. We're gonna go ahead and apply the glaze. We're gonna let it go for another 10 minutes so that the glaze caramelizes, and then we'll go ahead and cut it up. Okay, I've already sliced this meatloaf up. I have the other one resting. Let's go ahead and give this a try. This is extremely moist. Wow, guys, that is phenomenal. Definitely have to give this a try. The addition of pork and lamb made this meatloaf one stellar, phenomenal meatloaf. This is definitely not your mama's meatloaf. So guys, I want to thank you for stopping by. If you have any suggestions, please leave them in comments below, and make sure to thumbs up and subscribe. We'll see you on the next video.